Okay, we are. Oh, hold on, they can't hear you guys. I don't think. Okay, let's see. We should be live right now.
I think so. Looks like it.
Yeah,
Okay.
looks like it.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yep.
fix
Yes, we
captions.
are live.
So we're
I don't
just
see the captions.
skipping the intro today. Apparently, too pretty. Sorry, Maddie. Let's see.
Um,
Bill, could you maybe just narrate what the intro was to everyone?
yeah, so starting out, there's a scene with some people, and one of them is looking up at the sky, and it's a beautiful sky, and there's some sunflowers, and then some grass.
Mm.
Oh, and the captions are back. Cool. All right. So let's get
Great
into
description.
I almost wanted to. I almost want to rerun it now.
it. All right. So
Oh man.
in the
This is
last
fun.
session, Team Small regrouped in the tavern of the Laughing Lord, trying to figure out how they were going to get out of the city, which was on high alert looking for them. To that point, the guards were patrolling the city looking for them, even breaking into houses during their search. In fact, the group had just made it out of the back of the Laughing Lord into the alleyway as one of the patrols burst into the tavern, and the patrol caught wind of them and pursued them into that alleyway. The group then made an extremely narrow escape and disappeared into the belly of the city, even as flying patrols went out searching for them. Lastly, they all made it to the gate. And after picking up the body of the werewolf Cowl and an absolutely wild gambit of a bug-surrounded second riding atop Cinnabon as a horse, they escaped outside the city, which is
D&D.
where we are going to pick it up tonight. Now, Hosen, you were also a bug? I forget where you were.
I just snuck as like a second and Cinnamon were
That's
talking.
right.
I just like snuck around,
Yep, that's right. With your
being invisible.
4 million stealth roll.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. And yeah, that's where we're going to pick it up. You are a healthy distance away from the city, and it seems as though, like, if you look back, you can see that there are still kind of those drakes flying around with the riders on top, but they are all staying within the city itself. You feel as though you are relatively safe for where you are. Now, I'll kind of let you describe where you want to sort of stop, or even if you do want to stop, but like the world is your oyster at the moment.
A question for you. At what point on the? I assume we're on the. I'm not looking at the map. I assume we're on the Silver Cut roadway. Or at least that's the vantage point in which we would. The Garrett's family would exit stage right, I suppose. Because in my mind, like Cinnabon's just watching until he can't see them anymore.
Yeah, so basically straight away from you is that the Silver Cut? I thought it was the Harchwood Way. Whatever
Could be.
the road, whatever the road is that leads out towards Terse Fields. Yes,
Got it.
that is where they are headed.
Yep. Cool. Yep. I'll just watch until like I don't see specks anymore, and that's when he sort of spun around to everybody else and said, "Let's do what we need to do."
Should we pay respect to Cal here first?
Didn't
Do
we
we
have
still
them
have him?
take?
Or did we have him take Cal, or are we?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Never mind. Yeah, I think we're. I'm ready to go. You all are? Are you all sure you want to come with to find out more about this man dressed in gold? This Elliot Morrow?
I think we need to just figure out whatever the truth is of this. Certainly.
It's a burning question that needs to be answered.
Alrighty. I'm nervous, but with you all by my side, I feel more safe.
Just hope we, or at least I suppose, can keep my wits about me, especially if I see that mage again.
I promise not to what's the word I want to phrase here? I know you want to kill the mage. I want to kill the Yeti. What if we made a promise to each other not to do that?
So we'll continue to hold each other to that then.
I like it.
And then if both that fails, second, I think you're up.
Ahem. Ahem.
Oh, right, Moke. You've been quite quiet there for a minute.
You know, I've been sipping this tea here while y'all were talking.
Fair enough.
She actually didn't have anything to say. She just, as you guys were making promises, she's like,
Pinky out or not?
pick it.
Yeah. Us making promises. That's working fast. All right. Should we get going?
Second,
That's rad.
do you have any idea of where we should start?
Do we still have the map that we had in the tavern?
I assume so, yeah.
Yeah.
I pull out the map
Point to the Cliffkeep Mountains.
up there.
All right.
Let's get going. How far of a travel is it to Cliffkeep Mountains?
That's a great question.
It is a hike. I think I said that second flew for 8 hours, if I remember right. So translating that into walking, it's, we're probably talking a couple of days.
Gotcha. And then also, do we know like a direct-ish route? Like, is there a road that goes from where we are to that, or do we need to?
Why don't you make a survival check? And since you
Yeah.
have the map, why don't you do it with advantage?
Heal will do. Where's my survival? Oh, there it is. Perfect. Natural 20.
All right.
Or 30-20. Natural 19.
With a natural dirty 20, you see that there is a it's kind of a obscure path, but you can see that there has been enough foot traffic in that direction where it seems as though you could more or less follow that in the direction that you're looking at. Now, if we zoom out, right, it is a very clear day. It's relatively warm. The sun is out, and you look off in the distance, and you could see just faintly the beginnings of the Cliffkeep Mountains. And I mean, with a dirty 20 survival check, you think you could get to the base of the mountains by the end of tonight.
Gotcha. Relay that information with everybody. By the end of tonight, we could get to the base of the mountains, and then we'll go mountain climbing.
So make camp at the base and then climb in the morning.
I like that.
All right.
All right.
8-bit music.
Yeah, I just turned it up a little bit because I realized it's a little bit quiet.
Perfect.
So let me ask this specifically to Hosen, but anybody else, feel free to chime in. During the travel, what are you all doing? I am assuming that there's you guys picked up a lot of stuff. Are you doing anything with that, or just nothing for now? Let's get to the camp and then we'll deal with it then.
Yeah. I think as Hosen's walking, he pulls out the amulet and ring that he got from the little safe in the study.
Sure.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah. And takes a look at those things. Would like to inspect those things as we're chugging along.
Sure. Okay, so
Also, I would
the
love to like show everybody what I found. Like I found this ring. I found this amulet. I don't know what they are. If anyone knows.
Yeah, fantastic. So the ring itself is a pretty nondescript golden ring, but it has a clear gem that is on top of it. That at the moment it is completely. It almost looks like it's a vacuum inside. There's no gas. There's nothing swirling around in there, but it's pretty unassuming. That said, you definitely, having been around sort of magical items, you definitely can tell that this and the stone are both. The stone itself it's roughly the size of your palm, and it is completely circular with this really polished, beautiful finish, almost as though somebody like actually took a buffer to it. And you know how some stones will have this ring in it? This one has two rings, and they are it is like the stone itself is pretty stone colored, like this grayish color. Smitty, that was for you. But the rings themselves are like this opal that's kind of going directly through it.
Gotcha. Cool. I take note of that. When I put on the ring, does anything happen?
Yeah. Actually, would you mind doing an Arcana check for me? Actually, two separate ones.
Ooh, cool. Two separate ones. Here is the 1st
I'll
one.
cast guidance both
Okay.
times.
Cool. Because I got a -1. So for natural 20, so 19. For the first one, I'm just gonna roll the d4 on that just for fun.
Yeah.
Why not?
I know.
All right. I love it.
My goodness, that 23.
Maximum Arcana.
That's for the first one, and then the
Right.
second one.
Guidance again.
And there we go. That's a natural 2 for 1.
There we go.
But don't forget that D4 though.
Oh wait. Let me see the d4.
Hey.
The dice
Alright,
giveth,
three.
the dice taketh away. So
Indeed.
you know that the other one is also magical, but you don't really know. And I think it's because when you look at this ring, it is just like awe-inspiring. So let me read the description for everybody on out there. But this should be already inside of your inventory. So while you're wearing this ring, it's called the Ring of Remembrance. While you're wearing this ring, you have advantage on wisdom saving throws. Additionally, the ring remembers the spells that you have cast around it,
Gotcha.
Twice per long rest, you can speak a command word, and the spell will cast any spell that you have cast previously while wearing the ring. It does not use a spell slot if you do that, and if you take the ring off, it forgets all the spells you have previously cast. You can also lie to it about spells that you have previously cast by rolling a persuasion check, and the DC will be 12 plus the spell's level that you're trying to cast. And it doesn't matter what kind of spell is. So a wizard can cast druid spells, cleric spells, and whatever. But the problem is, if you fail it, you will take 1d10 psychic damage per level that you're trying to cast that spell at. So, for example, if you fail a wish spell, it's 90-10 psychic damage.
I was just thinking about that wish myself. Good to know.
Dope. Hosen holds up the ring, like wears it, like is awe-inspired by it, takes it off and goes, I do not know any spells. I don't know if you all would rather wear this ring. I think honestly, second, what you did back there was incredibly smart and brave of you. I think I would love to give this ring to you. But if anyone else has like any ideas of what they would like to do with this ring, I'm more than happy to hand it off.
No objections here.
I second that.
Funny. That's great.
Get out.
Hosen holds the ring over to Second. Second, would you take this ring?
Second goes over and holds up their hands.
And I drop it in their hands.
Generosity is the providence of the heavenly Siren Ray. And slips on their finger a little bit of sadness in their eyes.
Ooh, interesting.
Gotcha. Hosen chugs along, and I think I do want to investigate more of like the journal and whatnot, and if we could read and walk at the same time, but that's
Sure.
all Hosen wants to do.
Okay, fantastic. Does anybody want to take a look at the other thing? The stone?
Sure. Yeah. Big Mama Moko will take a gander at it.
Okay. If you want to make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Guidance.
Point of clarification, real quickly, DM.
Yeah.
Do I actually, the second, have to say the name of the spell to the ring, or does the ring know what second's thinking?
Yeah, the ring knows what you're thinking.
Okay, I'm just making sure that this wasn't something you're like, ha, you're fucked now. Like,
Also, it's worth mentioning that concentration spells are a no-no, because you cannot double up concentration. Like every DM Reddit says, do not mess with concentration. So I'm just making it out there. You cannot do a concentration spell.
Damn.
Got it.
Yeah. Big Mama had like 10 total.
Yeah, that's a fail. I mean, what I will give you is that the magic that is contained within it is conjuration.
Yeah, I think.
Second's good.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you
Question,
got it.
was that an ability? That was an ability check, right?
Yes.
Okay, question, because I rolled a natural 1 on that. Can I, as lucky for
Absolutely.
being a halfling?
Yeah, of course.
A
I mean-
stout halfling, as I recall.
Stout. Short and stout.
At least someone recalls it.
That's
I know,
how.
right? Yeah,
All
right.
right. So 13. And you want me to just keep my D4 that I rolled earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. That is enough.
Oh, cool.
So this is something called the skipping stone. And while holding this stone in your hands and speaking the command word, you can use an action to cast the teleport spell for you and a number of allies permissible by the teleport spell to a place that you can see. Because this location is within sight, there is no requirement to roll on the teleportation success table. It is an automatic success. There are 2 charges.
Holy shit. Okay.
Okay,
That's a
cool.
7th level spell, I think? Yeah, damn.
So, like, that can be seen.
Correct.
So, question.
Shoot.
If we're standing at the base of the mountain
Yes.
and she kind of glances up near the summit, or where, like, would that be a possibility?
If you can see it, you can get there.
Okay. I'm
Oh.
just saying, like, Big Mama Moko only has like 1 foot long legs, so that might save on some steps.
Listen, y'all, I hate travel episodes.
I think that was made clear to us very, very clear.
I think Bill was like, "Oh, you got a 7? So here's this magic item.
Yeah,
Like,
right,
we'll describe it no
right.
matter what. Whatever we rolled, you would have described it to us."
DC 5.
Dope. And it's up to like 8 willing creatures, I think it's a teleport spell.
Yeah.
So dope.
So good thing that you offloaded your family.
Thanks for the reminder.
Now, what I will say is that you cannot see the summit. You can just see the base of the mountains.
Okay. All right. So Big Mama Mocha, she'll go ahead and convey that
Oh. Oops.
with everyone. And it's present time, right? And I mean, like, you know, yes. Okay, cool. Never mind. Had a thought in my head and this went out. Okay.
Just real quick, in terms of character management, Hosen, I took both of those items out and I distributed them, one to second and the other one to Big Mama.
Perfect. Awesome.
Yay. All up in my sheet. You get it? Sheet.
Yeah.
Okay. All
I-
right.
Throughout like the guidances and conversations, like every now and again, and it's a very like third grade thing to do, but mid walk, Cinnabon is will sort of about face and sort of walk a few paces backwards, looking towards where the fam went, and then spin back around.
Yeah, I'll just. I'm sure you figured this out, but like, I think at this point you probably can't see them anymore.
Oh no,
Yeah.
and it's probably been like a couple of hours, but he still does it.
Yeah.
A bit distracted. Second, you wanted to do something? Okay. So
On hiking.
Well, should we be utilizing this now, or should we pick a specific time?
Maybe we can. I mean, we could try to. If we see the base of the mountains, we could just go now. I mean, we have. Do we know that there's 2 charges in there, or is that a little?
Yeah, you would know that. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where the 2 little rings are around it.
Cool. It's like, yeah, we could go straight to the base of the mountain right now and then pop back up to the top and kind of get our bearings, spend the night there, and then in the morning keep going. Or we can go to the base of the mountains, pop up to the summit, kind of scope from there, see how far it is, and then get a little bit closer that way.
Sounds good.
What do you think?
I think the question is should we, after teleporting, assuming this works, to the base, should we do a bit of traveling and sort of make sure we have a good vantage point in which to bath to?
That's also a good point. I'm down for either or. Right now, I feel a little bit more safer walking here than I do in the mountains.
Fair.
Part of me is like, walk this out, get to the base, and then if we could navigate around the mountains using this, awesome. But also at the same time, we just left Westrunning with flying lizards on our tail. So, like, I don't know how safe we are on this road too.
If I'm being honest, the flying lizards don't really bother me.
That's fair.
And kind of looks up at, like, towards Westrunning, and I think if they were going to chase us, they would have certainly done so by now.
That is true.
Have any of you heard of a Jabberwocky before?
What?
Jabberwocky. It's typically native to the Feywild. It's a pretty terrifying looking dragon, but not in your fire breathing sort of way. It's a bit odd, strange, discolored eyes and sort of strange green skin. That would be something to be afraid of.
That's a new fear I have now. Cool. Um,
I don't think
Maybe
you'll
not.
be running into it unless you pay us a visit, when we make our way back.
well, I would love to visit. I just hopefully avoid that.
Certainly. Very strange scream. You don't want to be anywhere near that.
Interesting.
Energy beams, too.
It has energy beams? What is the Feywild fascinates me. I've never heard of it before meeting you, and this sounds incredible.
It, before I came here, was sort of the ordinary. So. That's why I suppose flying lizards don't really concern me.
That's fair. Yeah, flying lizards, that's a new one for me.
Fair enough.
That's fair. I mean, it was a Chroma Conclave, but that was a little bit before my time, and so haven't seen any dragons or flying lizards or anything of that sort.
That's probably a good thing. So, okay, what do you think?
I'm agreeable. For us to go ahead and see what we can do to make our way up the mountain as best as possible.
Suppose that's up to you. I don't really know how this thing works, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Well, this is my first time. So, and then she like grabs the stone. Are we already at the base of the mountain, or we were just making our way? We still got some ways to go.
Oh yeah, please.
Yeah, I had assumed that you all were just kind of walking along.
Yep.
You have not yet
Mhm.
used the skipping stone.
Right, so we can only use it twice.
All right.
So I was wondering, like, if once up, once down, or if we do kind of
Yeah.
like a frog hopping up the mountain as best we can. It all depends on once we get down there, or at the base rather.
Well,
See what's going to be the best course of action.
Well, I suppose the question is are we walking to the base, or are we teleporting to the base? Second's vote. Walking.
I'm okay with walking.
Well, it was already what I suppose we had planned before this discovery, so works for me.
Let's keep on walking.
Briskly.
Let's do it.
Yeah, as far as you all know, there's no rush. It's so if you prefer to keep us on track to do a travel episode, then let's do that.
Feels like
This is a great thing you can do, Bill, where you say, all right, after a day walking, you reach the base of the mountain. 10 seconds later.
You can do that?
Yeah.
All right, I'm taking the skipping stone back.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Well, no, because I want to flavor this a little bit because Hosen, you said you were going to be reading the journal. And the way that I want to approach this is, let's say there's 8 hours of walking here. And you know what? I had thought of this as like a mini game sort of thing where I was going to make you do intelligence checks or whatever. But that it doesn't sound right because you have no stress on you at the moment. You're just kind of walking and reading. So if anything, you have to be like a dex check or something so you don't trip over your feet. But that's also not very interesting. So I think here's what we will do. Okay, so you're looking at the journal, right? Not the ledger, not any the little journal that you found.
Yeah. I kind of did
Okay.
a lot of like the ledger stuff back in Westrunning. I think I want to take a deeper dive into this journal.
Perfect. Okay. So if you did you ever see what is it? Raiders of the Lost Ark? No, Last Crusade, where Indiana Senior had that Grail diary.
Yeah.
When you go through this, it is very similar in size and shape and contents of the Grail diary. You know, it is this old but still somehow well crafted leather, and inside of it is drawings and notes that are being made, and big question marks that are kind of like underlined and circled and stuff. It is very clear that your father was tracking the pursuit of something.
Mhm.
And the more that you read through, and the more that you uncover what it was that your father was tracking, you start to notice that there are that he is tracking this tower. And as you kind of flip through the pages, you do see like some maps that at this point you kind of already know is the path that is leading up, that you're currently on. But there's also some other notes in there that you don't know about yet. There is a small like circle along the way, and there's written next to it is like the killing fields ? And then a little bit further up there is material components ? And that's pretty much all that you get out of the map. And it's not very like accurate to geography, right? It's just kind of like there's a mountain and you go up the mountain and then there's these things, right? Your father was not a cartographer for sure.
No.
And so then you start to hold up. What?
Well,
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
we're back.
See the
Right.
gesture.
Yep.
Came in with like a piece of wallpaper stuck to his head. What are you doing?
Magic.
I can't wait to
So-
take a picture of it.
The more that you read through this, the investigative nature of this diary gives way to a more like standard journal where he's starting to write about his thoughts. And what you gather from this section of the journal is that your father had deep regrets, and he felt as though this mission that he was currently on was something about redemption. And as like if you know what you're talking about, you're not going to call it out explicitly, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so there are kind of oblique references to these things that he regrets, and he never actually calls it out in his journal, but you could see that is what was driving him. Almost every time that he opens up a new page and starts, he calls out the fact that this is my new duty. Then the very last entry is a mention that he's found it and he's setting out in the morning. And the date on this is about 2 weeks ago.
What? Okay. Ooh. As I'm reading this, I'm sharing with everybody until I get to this part and I fall silent. For years, I thought my father disappeared, or there was a whole revolution. They took the palace. You all saw the place. It was ransacked.
Mhm.
I thought he died. And then with the grandfather clock in the study, knowing it was still running until we came in, and
Ransacked it.
yeah. This last journal entry was from 2 weeks ago. My father is still alive. Just like he deep sighs for a moment. What did he find? I just keep going through the journal trying to find more notes about anything, but what was he so? My father was a corrupt man. He dealt with black magic items. He sold a city for the pursuit of these things, and he was never. He didn't care about those around him. He just cared about himself and his image. And knowing that he has a new duty that isn't to me or my sisters, it makes me mad, you know? Just, it's weird. He was alive. You could have come to me after all this time. I don't know if I would have welcomed him, or I don't know what my reaction would be, but he found it so important to go on this quest. He left everything behind.
There's a sad sort of smile on Cinnamon's face. Well, at least you can ask him, hopefully.
I guess. Hudson takes a deep breath and just keeps thinking about, like, the killing fields, material components. Is, like, on the map where he's, like, circling all this, is it near where we're heading, or is it somewhere completely different?
No, it's yeah, still using that 20 survival. Like it looks like it's still in the direct path of where you're going.
So maybe we'll find out where he was talking about these. I will say, killing fields is very ominous. I don't know if we really want to go there. That sounds terrifying. Do
you think it's worse than where we've already been?
We did delve into Shadeborough.
That's true.
I think we can handle a little bit more.
It's any consolation. I'm glad we didn't teleport now. It would have been really awkward if we had gotten all the way to the base of the mountain and you found this information out.
That is true. Teleport right into the killing fields.
TPK.
And there's the two. And it's gone. I hope you get to ask him.
Second, does the Everlight ever, you talk about protecting life and preservation of life. Is there anything that the Everlight says about redemption at all?
Hold, please.
The Saren Ray database.
Life, faith, peace. Life, faith, peace, redemption. Guide us, bless us, protect us, O Holy Everlight.
Right. Whatever redemption arc he was on, whatever his new duty was, hopefully the Everlight was guiding him.
Remember, the Everlight guides and protects those who seek to help others.
Certainly hope he was trying to help others. But I don't know. I don't know.
High atop a mountain?
Who's to say?
Guess we can ask more questions and just add them to our roster.
Mm-hmm. I'll start making up a list and like starts to write down questions he wants to ask his father. First of all, what the fuck? Second of all,
You all are roughly about 3/4 of the way there. And now you are all the way there.
Boom.
I'm so proud.
Look at that.
Just like that. Look at him go.
travel episodes, baby.
I wish that was my morning work commute.
Oh man,
For real.
someone clip that shit, please. That was fucking hilarious.
So as you approach, because nothing in life can ever be super easy, you can tell that as you look up the mountain that the tops of the mountain ranges are covered in a dense cloud that's makes you not able to see. all the
DM
way up
Fog of
there.
War, I see you.
Yep.
Like at the base of Mount Fuji.
Well,
But-
y'all didn't teleport when I thought you were going to, so like
Fog of War.
allow me
Hey,
to
listen.
absorb.
Hey, listen, I learned a new tool tonight from a DM perspective is yada yada yada.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
It's a great tool.
All right. So as you're looking at the face of this mountain cliff side, you can see that the path that you've been following kind of breaks away a little bit, and you can tell that there because it is kind of rocky on the sides of the mountains, that you've been following this through this grassy path and whatnot, and that grass made it easy for you to follow the path. But now that you're moving into a more rocky terrain, the ground is not as well defined in terms of the path that people have walked upon. Now, that's not to say, however, that with the map that you got from inside Westrun as well as inside the journal, that allows you to more or less kind of estimate the way that you're going to go up this mountain. Now, what I will say is that it does appear as though there are some natural kind of plateaus and rest areas that you could see up on the top of the mountain. I didn't mean rest areas, but like rest from like going up.
Yeah, a 95 and then rest area. Got it.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, there you go.
Exit 38.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
So
Is there a
yeah.
Carl Jr. at this rest stop? That'd be great.
I got a diner over here.
So what would you like to do?
So, shall we make camp?
That works for me.
Should make camp.
I'll take care
Also,
of the fire.
I pull out the glass flower that's preserved here. We do have this. I can try to find a more exact location. Maybe a trail or some sort. I don't know. This seems much more fresh than the other one. So maybe more potent.
Certainly, if you're feeling up to it.
Go ahead and take
How-
a whiff.
How high is the mountain?
1,000 units.
More or less than a mile?
More or less than a mile high. Less.
Yes. Okay. I second would like to cast clairvoyance
Okay.
to scry upon fortress.
Perfect. Okay, as you do this,
Nice.
you can see inside the ring that you have on currently, there starts to be this like gas that starts to fill up in there, and it is no longer a clear vacuum. It's kind of full of this greenish gas. Okay, clairvoyance. Are you seeing or smelling?
See, I'm gonna feel. I'd like to just feel what I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna
see.
hear it.
Actually, hold on. Sorry.
Taste.
Definitely taste. Yeah, I'll go with C.
Okay. And you want to just see what's going on at the tower, right?
Mhm.
Okay, it's cloudy. You can't see anything.
Fog
I
over.
will switch
I'm
as
just
an
be-
action. Oh, okay.
I'm just being a jerk. No. So yes, it is cloudy, right? Like, but if you're looking specifically at the tower,
Mhm.
you actually do not see anything, any activity whatsoever. It seems as though that there's no comings and goings, the door is closed, and it is pretty quiet.
Yeah. So if I switch to hearing, I don't hear anything either.
No.
Okay.
Just the whistling of the wind.
Windy. The clouds, though, are stationary. There must be some magic afoot.
It's a Zelda game.
Anytime you're trying to climb something, it starts raining.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cinnabon sort of kind of makes this makeshift sort of because he has like kindling and stuff, like a bunch of kits and stuff, and then he'll summon Archie right in the middle of it, and there's like a small like ember-sized explosion, and then it catches light, and then Archie like jumps in his arms.
Very cool. So you start a little bit of a campfire going. Okay.
And he'll just say, I don't know why I haven't done that before. It is way easier than just a spell or even doing it manually.
I think Hosen looks at Archie and goes, I think this is the first time I've seen Archie not in a high stressful situation. Can I pet Archie? Is that something?
Certainly.
I reach my hand out and like pat the head first and then like kind of scratch behind the ear.
So as you reach, or actually, why don't you tell me what Archie does? Is your fire pet?
What's odd to you is that like he's on fire. Like his corgi fur is like the top half of it is all flames. But you actually do feel the heat emanating from it. But as you approach, you feel that heat sort of disappear. And I feel like you gotta make an animal handling check, though.
Yeah.
Can I assist him?
Sure. I'm the DM now. Let me move Bill, you go here, and I go.
Bill plays the role of Archie. That's a 9.
Now you did say, Rain, that you wanted to assist. How are you assisting?
Yeah.
You know, I actually have a cantrip prepared for frostbite. Not to hurt Archie at any level.
Okay.
But to actually like make Hosen's hands like super cold. So that way, if he does try to touch Archie, it's not going to cause him to singe off his fingertips like Men in Black. You know.
You know what? That is cool enough that I think we're gonna let it go. So why don't you make that animal handling check with advantage?
Oh, I did, and I got a 9.
Oh,
Well,
that was with advantage.
oh,
well,
I just scream like as my hand gets super cold and then touches hot like fire.
Frostbite and then crispy fingers.
all right. Jacob, how does that resolve?
Not
You're the
great, Bill.
DM.
Not great. So as you go forth and begin to sort of put your hand kind of right above Archie's head, and then Big Mama Mocha casts the spell, there is like you begin to feel a growl beginning to surface from Archie, and then he barks at you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry, that was. I love the idea, Big Mama Mocha. Maybe a heads up next time. But love the idea. It kind of shakes off the frostbite,
You know,
as you do.
It may not seem obvious, but perhaps fire spirits and cold don't really go together.
That does make sense.
I was trying to make sure he kept all his digits, because
Now, frostbite is no
touching
joke.
animal on fire.
Fine.
Well, if it helps, he has the ability to sort of control the temperature of them. So perhaps when you try again, you'll be fine.
We'll give it a second here. I want to go right back into it, How
not
did you come
patient.
up with the name? How did you come up with the name Archie?
My father actually named it. Named him.
Oh.
We've been together since pretty much as long as I can remember.
That's sweet. Any significance of the name, or? Does it look
From
like
what
the
I
name?
understand, my father's best friend was named Archibald. And they lost contact, I suppose. He was from Exandria, actually Tal'dorei. I want to say Iman. It was an Aarakocra fellow. Apparently very dark and had like these weird like goggles and stuff. I recognize that it doesn't matter to. Sorry.
That's very sweet to remember him by. You said just lost contact?
Yeah, as far as I know.
I mean, if we ever go there, we'd love to ask around about Aarakocra fellow and see if there's any word.
That would be nice. That would be really nice.
Because as they say, the bird is the word, so maybe we can ask around.
All right. All right, I'm stopping this.
Sorry. Sorry.
So I assume the conversations go on and we move into long rest territory.
Yeah, I
Alright.
think I do want to take a hit of that flower. I do want to.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, I may have misrepresented this before, but it is not magical, right? It is the scent of it is just jogging memories in
Gotcha.
in the same way that like if somebody from your childhood used a specific fragrance or something, and then you smell it again, it just sort of like transports you back in that way. So that's kind of the way this is going. So
Gotcha. Cool.
I think you smelling it has not provided any additional, but it does bring you back to that moment of you wrapping your arms around your father as you're walking through this big field of those purple lilies.
Gotcha. Cool.
All right. Second, out in this more or less open field next to the beginnings of this mountain, where are you sleeping?
I will look for some sort of rock outcropping that I can get under if possible.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. The reason that I ask you, sorry, my brain just went in like 4 different directions. The reason I ask you that is because as I again, just learn we don't necessarily have to do watches and whatnot if I don't feel like there's any danger, which there's not, so we're not doing watches tonight.
Love
However,
it.
Inside check.
however, second, there is something that happens to you. In the middle of the night, you are not sure if you are you going to say something?
I wanted to do something, but
Okay, please.
before I go to bed, yeah, because I'm a schmuck. Okay, I am going to cast Death Ward on myself,
Okay.
and then I am going to remember how earlier today I cast Mind Blank, and I'm going to use the Ring of Remembrance to cast Mind Blank on Hosen.
I think that's incredible.
Oh, what?
That is amazing.
For 24 hours.
What's that?
It's a
Yeah.
big spell, dude.
Okay.
My like 16th level wizard has that spell. It's a big spell.
So Hosen is now immune to
Well,
let's
I have
cast the
to-
spell first.
Right, I have to try and do it. I have to persuade the ring.
Sure, but I don't know what this spell does, so I'm just catching myself up on it. So
Sure.
should this work,
Mhm.
Hosen is immune to psychic damage and any effect that would sense its emotions or read its thoughts, divination spells, and the charmed condition. The spell even foils wishes spells and spells or other effects of similar power. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a big fucking spell.
That's a big
Fucking
fucking
spell.
spell.
Roll
All right.
well.
Yeah,
I'm
let's.
going to cast Guidance on myself.
Yep.
And this is a 8th level, so I need a 20.
Correct.
Holy shit.
Is it a wisdom save or a check?
It's not gonna matter. I don't get it. So that's 8d10 of damage against me, DM, if you'd be so kind.
This is broken.
It's broken when you gave it to me.
Yeah, it's broken when I give it to you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Try again.
All right, 46 psychic damage.
Okay.
What does it
You
sound like?
you see
Yeah.
second, like looking at this thing and just thinking. And
We're all asleep at this point, right?
Second,
This is the
second
middle
just
of the
really
night.
wants to help their friends. And you see second reach out, and you see the ring kind of shake on second's finger as they reach out towards Hosen's sleeping form, and then you just see the ring like jerk second's finger up, and second gets thrown back against the rocks. The body like cracking against the rocks as they slump down, and they think to themselves, worth a shot. And then they'll I don't know, they still got some spells left. They're gonna cast Healing Word on themselves a bunch of time before they go to bed.
Right.
I love
All
that
right.
so much.
You know,
So good.
I think it's great. We got to figure out how to not have that be like, hey, listen, I'll just wish until
I figured, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm doing it before we go to sleep in a low pressure situation.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So your sleep is not very comfortable at all. And not just because you were sleeping essentially on rocks, but you awaken in the middle of the night. Actually, you're not sure if you're awake or you're still asleep. It's this weird feeling of almost sleepwalking in some ways. And you feel yourself kind of get out from underneath this, and you're looking up at this very dark mountain now because it's the middle of the night, and the stars which should be there aren't. It's completely pitch black except for some lightning. You see a couple cracks up on the mountain, and a couple cracks over on the right-hand side. And then all of a sudden it starts to rain, which is weird because when you went to sleep, it was a beautiful, clear day. And then you hear something. You hear a voice, and you hear the words, "Don't be scared, love. I'll be back in just a second." And with that, the lightning cracks, and you can see up on one of those plateaus from before. You can see that the crack of the lightning creates shadows on the sides of the mountain, and you could see that there
Here's
are.
what I found.
Shut your fucking hole. You could see that the shadows, there are maybe 20, 25, maybe 30, and they are all rushing in one direction. And you could see that there is another creature that casts an extremely large shadow, and that is turning to face the people that are charging them. And then just like you woke up or sleepwalked, the lightning goes down, the rain stops, you can see the stars again.
Do I see my friends? Does it seem like I'm back? Does it
Yes,
seem like I'm still in dream?
correct.
Second, we'll wipe the tears from their eyes. Love. We'll roll over and go back to sleep.
Okay. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Okay. We are coming for each other emotionally. I love it.
Yeah.
We get a glance at like where how Second got his name.
Well, we as like players,
Yeah.
that's not for me to say.
Who's to say?
Who's the thing?
Give me a spoiler alert.
Give me. I want the truth.
I want that lore.
You can't handle the truth.
I just watched a few good men a couple days ago. It's so fucking good. Anyway, cool.
All right, folks, we will be back in about 10 minutes. See you at 9:33 Eastern.
Whoa, whoa.
All right, welcome back, everybody. After a pretty restful night, it is now the morning. And I hand over the reins to you all. What would you like to do?
So, Cinnabon's probably he would attempt to be the first up, and then kind of futz with the fire a bit. Just let folks get up whenever they feel that they are ready to. I will ask though, with my passive perception of 17, do I see a distant blood splatter somewhere?
It was psychic damage, and so I would say no.
That's worse. That's sad.
Yeah, I know.
That's heartbreaking. Their pain is their own. All right, fair enough. Yeah, just and he'll start to kind of whipping up some sort of a makeshift breakfast with rations and things.
Second wakes up and looks at the bright blue, cloudless sky.
Perfect
Cannon.
view of the summit.
Cannon.
Yeah.
Gazes at the summit.
Yeah, you look upwards. It's still cloudy, man.
Damn it.
Weird.
Beans.
Weird how that
Fucking A.
works.
Fucking A. Slander.
How high can we see, or we're like just, as we what is our visibility like going up?
I've been writing this dungeon for 3 weeks. I can't believe you guys are trying.
It's weird. The clouds are just like 10 feet above your heads. It's wild. No,
Silent Hill.
They're only
Yes.
10 feet?
Oh, we can fix that.
They're foggy. It's
I
just,
cast Death Ward.
I teleport up.
No. In all seriousness,
Yeah.
the clouds are really just at the top. So you can see the first part where Second's sort of vision was happening, and then you could see a little bit further on. There's another kind of clearing that you can see as well, and then you could kind of see like where the path would continue up, but you can just not see the summit. That's all.
Okay.
Here's what I found.
God, stop it!
That is what Big Mama Mocha said. Here's what I found.
I'm taking my watch off.
All right. Well, first of all, good morning, everyone. Hope you rested well. Surprisingly, I did. Pretty surprising.
Yeah, Hosen wakes up, polishes his armor like he does most mornings. Gets ready for the day. Good morning, everybody. It's good to see you.
Certainly hope so. Sunburn's gonna spin around to the mountains and see if there are any cavern holes, like somewhere up the middle or anything like that.
Yeah,
Any other openings.
make a perception check.
Okay, it's guidance on myself. Why not? Oh, natural 20. Let's go.
Let's go.
So you're looking for
Oh, a 4. Oh my god. Okay. That's a 31.
What's the total? Holy shit.
Let's go.
All right. So so you're looking for caves or outcroppings or something like that, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, it is a pretty pockmarked face as you look up this thing, and it seems as though that are you looking for caves or just like shelter?
Caves. Essentially, like we could teleport there.
Oh, yeah, man. I
Openings.
mean, absolutely. Especially with a 31, you can absolutely see. Now, the altitude at which these are is up for arms, but like is up for debate. But like, how far do you want to go? I guess that's the best question.
As high as possible.
Okay. Yeah, man. So what I will say is that just like the general geography of mountains as you go higher and higher is that they start to become steeper and like sheerer. Like if you look at the Matterhorn, the whole top portion of it is just like a sheer face. That's not necessarily this situation, but it's close. So you could bypass the killing fields, you could bypass the material components portion, and you could get pretty close up to where the separation is between like the sheer face and like the area below.
All right. And I'll sort of point out. Looks like we have a few options. And Big Mama Mocha, what's up?
And actually, I just want to like kind of describe what that looks like. Just as Cinnabon points up to the side, what you see is that there's almost like this kind of flat area that juts out, almost as though this is sort of like a like an outcropping that kind of like pokes out, so that if you were to be standing on that, you could get like a really good look across the entire entire valley that you're currently in at the moment.
Yeah, as he points it out, as far as the having a bit of footing wherever we go there, I do have an idea. Big Mama Mocha, are you familiar with apes by chance?
Indeed, I am.
I have on good authority that apes are quite the climber.
I would agree with you.
So perhaps we can teleport up there and monkey on up from there.
All right, so you saying first, let's just go ahead and climb up there, and then
No, teleport.
teleport later.
Teleport up
Okay. Okay.
as high as we can and
Okay.
climb the rest of the way.
All right.
And then Hosen on one back, second on the other.
All right. I am for this.
All right. How about you two?
Works for me. I have a feeling I'm going to become a backpack. I feel like I need to like strap myself on one of you. Like, would that be the best way? Just tie a rope around us and...
I think so. It'll take us a while, but certainly considering we're teleporting, at least we're cutting things in significantly from a time perspective.
I like that plan. That works for me.
All right. Ooh, I forgot to hit the long press button. I'm gonna do that now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot to do that too. Let me do that.
I
Should we all like join hands? How does teleport work? I have no idea. I've never done this before.
When I do it with Archie, it just I sort of ask him to, and then he takes care of the rest, and so it just sort of happens.
All right. So, well, then I recommend all of y'all to go ahead and just hold on to me. Just grab some of mine, but not untoward. Okay, I am a lady, and she'll take the stone in her hand and kind of like, "Are y'all ready?"
I think so. Hosen like it takes a wide stance, like gets his bearings, like squats down a little bit, like linked arms with you, just like, all right. It's very scary.
Hosen, I would like to
Second.
remind you, we've done this before with Archie. You've done this before.
Yeah, but still scary. This is the highest of like the longest teleport. I don't know.
That's fair. You're not wrong. Continue.
And this time I'm driving, so
That's also
you know how
Second
they say
will.
with women drivers.
Second will walk in front of Big Mama Mocha
wow.
and bring out their shield and just take like the edge of Big Mama's cloak in their hands behind them, and one hand behind them with the shield up in front.
All right. And Cinnabon, you ready?
Yes, I'm quite ready.
All right. All right. So she kind of holds it, like kind of squeezes one eye shut and just goes up.
Is that the command word?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. So with that, and describe to me, you are looking specifically at this kind of long outcropping, right? That Cinnabon pointed out to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the highest thing that one could find in that he can see.
That could stand all of us on
Right.
a stable footing.
Perfect. So as you say the word up, you start to feel, all of you start to feel your bellies kind of like float up into your chests, and you start to look down at your hands, and you start to Marty McFly a little bit, and then all of a sudden you reconstitute at the very top of that mountain where Cinnabon pointed out to you. And Big Mama, you then look down at the stone that's currently in your hand, and you see that one of the bands that was there just dissipates entirely. And
that was fun.
You look up, and you can see that there is still kind of a somewhat distinct path going up and around, but it is obscured by the clouds.
It's clouded by the obscurity.
Outstanding catch.
That is my new band name.
That is such a DM move of like, nope, I need to switch this word out. Thesaurus, go.
But then as you look down, you could see that there are two distinct areas that you now have bypassed. And I think Hosen, having access to the Grail Diary, like to just call it the short name of that, you recognize that you are now looking down on two separate areas, one of which appears to be the Killing Fields, which is pretty far down at this point, so you can't really make out any discerning features of the Killing Fields. But to your left, a little bit closer to you now, you see that this is probably the area that your father indicated as the material components. And what you see is a full field of purple. And it's a full field except for one small area that's relatively circular. And at this vantage point, you can tell that it's probably about, 10 feet in diameter. That is not purple. I'm trying to decide if you can tell from this vantage point. And I say no, you can't tell. All you can tell is that there is a dark circle, roughly 10 feet in diameter, in a field of purple.
I kind of point that out to everybody. I've been here. My father took me here. I know these flowers. That must be where he took me. Did my father take me to the Killing Fields? Did I?
Yeah, how close is that flower field to the Killing Field?
I mean, maybe an hour between them between the two?
I kind of looked at the group. I kind of wanted to. I want to go down to that field of purple and see what that little outcropping thing is. I don't know, but that's just personal thing. If we want to continue on our journey, I'm more than happy to just keep on trucking along, but I'm very curious about that. Cooper
Archie.
agrees with me.
Cooper, I don't know. I don't know. It didn't sound like that. Cinnabon will turn. But I have to take him out of the room now. He kind of looks up and then looks back down. Perhaps on our way back?
Good plan. I like that.
I'm a similar mind.
Works for me. Let's keep on going.
I think it's worth mentioning that from this vantage point, second, you could see an oak tree that is down by the killing fields. It is a single lone tree. That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Cool.
Okay. It's oak, right?
I don't know, pass Bill. You tell me.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It was a sycamore. Oh no.
Mahogany.
Are you talking about a stump? Like a
Yeah.
lightning shattered stump?
Yeah, a stump.
Okay.
An oak stump. Well, it used to be a tree. So, like, technically I was right, but, like, just temporarily I was wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, thank you.
I believe that's
I
how
was
right
not
and
picking
wrong
up
works, Bill.
what you were putting down.
Amazing.
Second, and that's near the field and the circle.
You would have to go through the field of purple to get to the stump.
Second shakes their head and points down to the field.
Big Mama glances over. Okay. And she kind of peers like quizzically over at second, kind of wondering why he's looking.
Is that familiar to you?
They'll point to Posen's book and then back to the field.
You got something in there about that Hosen?
I kind of skimmed through any mentions of like an oak tree or anything of that sort in the journal notes.
Lightningy.
Not any mentions of an oak tree or stump. However, there are some descriptions of what seems like an old battle. And this is the resting place for the participants of that battle.
Do you think that maybe that's the reason why they called it the killing field?
I guess so.
I really like knowing where my horses are.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, there's a bit of a confused frown on Cinnabon's face.
Second points to the down again, shrugs and says, "We'll have to come back with some greater reinforcements," and then points up towards the top of the mountain.
I agree. Let's go ahead and put a pin in this. Come back to it. All right, descent.
You think we need to
No.
descend now, second?
I mean,
I mean, there could be, when we first encountered the mage, they were performing a sacrifice. There could be a connection from what was happening there to what happened here. Go into the minds of our enemies.
Sort of.
I mean, all I know about Eliamore is that he wears gold. Any kind of lead that we can get, if this killing field, if this field could provide us any more knowledge about what we're up against. I see what Second's saying. I mean, they don't know that
Alright.
we're coming. So, we
Well,
got some time.
the passion that I feel from both of y'all, it's kind of gearing me to go ahead and go down there too.
I suppose
Cinnabon.
we did save some time. So
All right.
it's just that saving time or taking our time didn't work out so well the first time.
That's true.
Heard.
Gotta be quick about it.
All right.
So then in respect to time, should we go ahead and teleport down? Isabel. No, we're gonna go back up because no, I don't want that to you.
No, I just want to like resource sap you all.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that is true. We're gonna use all our spell slots down there.
Yeah.
That face.
I mean, if we were looking for trying to get down there faster, is it like going down like a mountainy terrain down to this field and then over to the killing field, or is it kind of somewhat smooth sailing?
It's somewhat smooth sailing. Like it's not it doesn't rise to the level of difficult terrain. However, it is like rocky and a little bit, troublesome, but it does not rise to the level of difficult terrain.
Gotcha. I like the Cinnabon and Big Mama Mocha, and I say, have you ever seen like a mountain goat before?
Was.
I mean, we
yes.
could try. I mean, mountain goats are pretty good at navigating this. We could go down there, like the original plan, instead of gorillas going down as mountain goats, just to quickly descend down this mountain. Go down there, investigate, pop back up.
They're not exactly the best climbers, though, I don't think.
Or
Those
a
here that are
giant
horses.
goat?
Giant goat, maybe?
They are.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
You said it's just like it's like a slightly rocky descent. It's not like climbing a cliff face. You said, right?
Okay.
Correct.
Second just starts to
Right.
walk
Okay.
down this, like picking
Yes.
their way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I don't want to miss the fact that Alex, you said the words giant goat,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like if there's not a stat block for that, there should be.
There is.
Giant
There
goat.
is.
There is.
Is there really?
There is. I'm
There's a
reading.
giant-
There is.
Yeah.
That
In the
is
player's handbook.
Wild.
Yeah.
The
giant
fact
goat.
that somebody
Giant goat.
at Wizards was like, you know what? I bet you my players are going to want to be a giant goat at some point. So let's put that in the book.
Oh yeah,
That's wild.
It's
It is, and it has a ram attack.
I love it.
Sure-footed.
So you all can be goats while Second walks down the path normally.
Yeah, considering that, seeing second walk, it's like that doesn't look that bad.
By the way, I'm sorry for insinuating that like you were saying something that was untoward. Like giant goat
Oh
to
no,
me
yeah.
sounds so ridiculous.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's funny, there's not only a goat, there is a giant goat. So
Right.
it all
Yep.
depends.
Giant goat is the most used stat block in D&D, Bill.
Get with the program.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right.
All right.
Second is walking ahead. What are you all doing?
I guess we'll walk on down.
All in tow.
Hey.
Off this lonely road.
The boulevard of broken dreams.
Mm.
I want a second
Honestly,
music video of that. That makes perfect sense.
That should have been the title of this episode.
Oh,
Next one.
next time. All right,
Okay, cool. So we can.
and we're walking.
All right, and you're walking.
We're walking.
Okay, so who's in front? That's all I need to know.
Second, apparently.
Second.
Yeah.
Second.
I'll follow.
He's our
suit.
tank.
Death word.
Okay.
Or
So
doesn't.
second, it might take you 45 minutes, maybe closer to an hour, but you're walking along this path, and as I mentioned before, it's not terribly rigorous. And then all of a sudden you hook around a corner, and from there you see the beginnings of this expanse of purple flowers that are on the ground there. Now, something that you couldn't see from up top, but now that you're close, you do see. There is somebody in that field. Inside that dark black area, you see not one, but actually two folks that are bent down, and their backs are kind of like crouched, and you see them sort of like grabbing stuff from the purple flowers and then stuffing it into a big basket. And it seems like the two of them are very very focused on the activity that they're currently doing.
I immediately back up around the corner, get everyone's attention, and go.
All right. I'm just gonna look in that direction.
Yeah, you see the same thing. At the moment, they're probably 200 feet away, not close.
How far are we to like the edge of like the flowers and stuff?
I would say 150.
Okay.
So you've got 150 feet of trail, 50 feet of purple flowers, and then more or less in the center of that area, that's where these two people are bent down, kind of harvesting these flowers.
Were they robed? They appear to be robed.
200 feet is not that far. Give me a perception check. Yeah, with a 19, you can tell that they were wearing similar blue robes to the folks that were inside of Shade Barrow.
Getting close.
So the question is if we engage, the likelihood of them knowing we're coming is pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean,
second and Hosen, that this is sort of your play here. I'm not really sure what to do.
I'm down to go on a scouting mission. I can try to sneak around them, see what this outcropping is, kind of get a closer look, and then come back and report back.
Well, since Bill's nodding, nope, we're going back up. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean with a 40 stealth.
I know, right? No, I'm kidding. What do I want to do? Let's see. So I guess should we hang back? Should we join you? What do you think?
start hearing them talking, saying, "Hey, what's that over there?" Pop out, but otherwise, I'm more inclined. I could sneak on in, see what the gist is of this outcropping. Come on back.
All right. And we'll back you up if things go south.
Sounds good. Hosen puts up his cloak.
Second pulls Hosen over real quickly and also points to the oak tree. The oak stump.
I can go over there. Let's do it. We'll go investigate the outcropping and then try to go down to the oak tree and see.
Beautiful. Okay, make a stealth check, please.
All right, going with advantage because of the thingy.
Yep.
And then as a 28.
Even without pass without trace. Wild. Okay. So I'm gonna again do my very performative perception check.
Oh boy.
And I roll a 5. So you have run of the place. Tell me what are you doing?
Yeah, I think I'll first want to investigate. So you talked about there was like a dark patch like outcropping here amongst the flowers. I think I want to go down to like right around the blue mages. I'm feeling confident in myself. Like, are they chit-chatting? What is their small talk like? I want to know anything that they're saying or talking about the
How's
weather.
the weather?
Yeah. So
Cloudy.
But only here.
Very cloudy.
So what you hear is one of them say to the other, "Can you believe this fucking clouds? It's just it's so windy. I can't ever see anything. It's wild. These clouds stick around for so long." And then he starts stuffing a bunch of stuff into his basket, and then he says, I went to the best university, the best wizard school in all Westrunning, and here I am now a gardener. This is fucking stupid." And the other one says, "Yes, but it's very important that we bring all of this material components up to the masters." And the first one says, "Yeah, but why couldn't they fucking do it? They got all the spells and shit. I don't understand. They couldn't do like a conjure plant spell." Fucking idiots. Yes, but I think it's important for us to have humility and respect for our elders. You fucking would say that, you goddamn. I would beat you up if I could.
Hey Smitty, do you have like disadvantage against like NPCs?
I'm taking psychic damage personally right now.
That's why literally I was like, that's the whole thing I was thinking about. Yep.
Hosen sits crisscross in applesauce and listens to the next hour of what they're talking about.
Amazing.
Walks around.
One of them says, actually, you know what? One of them says, and this will actually be helpful.
I'm walking here.
I'm walking here.
Smitty, you'll have to listen to this part because it's important.
Is it about bagels?
Yeah, my favorite bagel is Dunkin'. It's toasted and wonderful.
Oh, these guys are pretend. So they're not who they pretend to be.
They're from Boston, of course.
Imposters.
Is that Ben Affleck down there?
I read you
Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. A lot of money for Ben Affleck and Matt Damon to be there.
All right.
No, actually, the first one says, "Do you even know what these fucking things are for?" And the other one says, "Well, I actually think they're pretty important. I guess they're putting together some sort of important spell. The first time they tried it, it didn't work. Some ruffians kind of got in the way, but this one, it should actually work for them." Well, but better fucking should work. All the stuff sweat I put into this, like picking all these goddamn flowers. And then Hosen, you just kind of walk past.
Yeah. Yeah, I just kind of sneak on past, and go straight towards the outcropping.
All right.
Are we the ruffians? Interesting. And then
We the baddies?
Are we the baddies?
Okay.
All perspective.
So Hosen, Killing Field's next, yeah?
Yes. Oh, the
stump.
Sorry.
So
Field outcropping, is that the killing field? Or
So the stump is where the killing fields are.
Mhm.
So you'll have to travel for about an hour,
Oh.
which
I wouldn't have planned. I didn't realize it was that far away. I
okay,
wouldn't
yeah,
have-
it's pretty
yeah.
far. Yeah.
Mhm. Cool.
So then knowing that, Hosen, do you come back or what do you do?
Yeah, I come back. Point of order is purple field outcropping. Is that of any significance, or is it just?
So if we go in order from top to bottom, we've got the outcropping, which is where you teleported to. Then
Gotcha.
below that is the purple flower field, which is
Mhm.
where everybody and you, Hosen, currently are. The two guys are kind of standing. And then further down below, an hour walk away, that's where the killing fields are.
You said there was
Okay.
something different colored, which I think we were calling the outcropping, Bill. Is that just the area where people are picking flowers right now or something? Or
Yeah, so let's define terms. Outcropping, in
Yeah.
my parlance, is where you landed after
Sure.
the teleportation.
That makes sense.
you also, so I get that now, but when you were speaking, you described a section, I thought, of the purple fields that was a different color than the rest.
Correct. Yeah.
What is that?
Great question. If only we knew.
Hosen goes investigates that.
Yeah, perfect. You do a great job investigating it. And
I
you find out
believe that was the ticket.
Yeah.
and you find that that is basically where they have been plucking the flowers, and so all that you see there is just kind of dead stems.
Gotcha. I took a look around. I go back to the group. I think knowing what they're doing, they're just picking flowers. I go back to the group, undo the cloak.
I'm sorry. This is probably something you assumed already, but I think it's an important point to vocalize is that Hosen, as you're walking through these flowers, the smell that it's giving off gives you the exact same feeling of when you were, on horseback behind your father. It's like I figured you figured that out, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I definitely wanted to vocalize that.
Yeah, I think Hosen takes a second, as he's trying to figure out what's going on, hearing from the mages and seeing where they've plucked the flowers. He has to stand there, he feels a little woozy, a little bit of just it's coming back to him. This was where he was with his father, and it's very weird seeing a different perspective of this memory. Now, kind of shakes it off a little bit, goes back to the group, puts down the hood in front of everybody and goes, okay, so they had some very strong opinion about bagels for some reason. But I think they're just here picking flowers. They were talking about material components for a spell that some ruffians stopped. I think they're talking about us. They're whatever they're trying to do in Shadeborough, I think they're trying to do again.
Oh dear, they call us ruffians.
I know, right?
Kind of offended about that.
I know. It's pretty condescending, right? Just ruffians?
Oh,
We put a stop to their master plan. That's all right.
by the gardeners. All right.
Seems that they're going to attempt to continue where they left off then.
So now what?
I mean, we could try to sneak past them, go down to the killing fields, see where the stump is, and then continue on.
Why?
Not sure.
Then, if we don't have a decent reason to, I think we go up.
I'm okay with that.
To go back up?
It's, from where I sit, it's not going anywhere.
Right.
Now look, I'm simply just stating what I see here, right? I'm not saying that we shouldn't, or that we could still either way. I just think, is it worth the 2 hours?
It didn't work out for us last time.
Right.
Oh, I do sound
Question.
sad.
I'm sorry. Question for you, Smitty, because you are earning an Oscar with your physical like manifestations here. Are you representing what Second is currently doing as well? Okay, for those of you that weren't, eyes completely on Smitty for the last 20 minutes, like Second is visibly upset, at least
Yes.
physically. Maybe Smitty, I'm overstating it, but like if you want to, you can call this out.
There's resigned sadness.
I think there's two ways to look about it. One, Cinnabon, you're right. In Shadeborough, time was of the essence. And that could be the same case here. I also see Second's point of view of going into Shaper. We didn't know what we were dealing with until it was too late. Just trying to find out everything we can before going in. Good work. My father was obsessed with this area. His notes, his journals lead us here. These mages that have connections with the League of Miracles, they had similar visions of this field, so it's connected. We know the mages even said like they're doing the same thing. There's a chance they will find something down there. It could be something to scope out, but also at the same time, I'm 100% behind you. Of time is of the essence. We can circle back to it, but there's something down there.
Time is
Second?
of the essence. Time is of the essence.
That means we put a pin in this and come back later.
Where else would we go, Big Mama?
Back up.
Oh no, it's just that, right? It's killing fields are up, right? Am I missing something?
I think Killing Fields is down, towers up.
No, that's specifically. It's and he literally like physically like here, here.
Right.
So second, you want to go up? Can I make an insight check?
Please. Smitty, I don't know if you want to contest this somehow or just whatever.
Yeah. I guess deception, depending on what.
Well, let me ask this. What are you trying to figure
Trying to
out?
get at. It's not going to matter. I rolled a 3, so.
Okay.
I'm trying to glean because second has certainly been a someone for someone to lean on, but I also think second really understands needs of the many, needs of the few, and then how things have been sort of impacted with us specifically and personally. So I'm trying to glean if it's this is the right thing to do for the greater good versus like how they feel about it personally.
Second is struggling so much with this because it is clear to them that the right thing to do for the greater good is to go to the tower. But there is some part of them that wants to go
To the killing
to the
field.
tree.
Got it. Kind of gleaning that information that just there's a bit of a resolve that sort of peeks out over Cinnabon's form. I think we all want to do both, but I think we should go up.
Do it.
And he'll kind of just put like a hand on Second's shoulder for just a minute, and doesn't really say anything. Just trying to pass along mutual understanding. Certainly a struggle for him too.
Hosen just nods in agreement. Just we'll come back here. We will. Trust me, I want to know what my father was trying to find here. Maybe, who knows, we might find out up there too. That place down there, it's important, but time is of the essence.
It's of the essence.
And then Bill, he is it at this point, because we slid down to here,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So it's not exactly like what run up, like try to catch the upcropping, I assume. Is that fair?
Yeah, no, you're gonna have to walk up along the path for 45 minutes to an hour, because that's what it took to get down. So you have to walk up the path again to get back up to the outcropping at the top.
Or we can climb in our ape forms.
Yeah. I'm down with that.
Big Mama Mocha?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's ape
Let's
time.
get.
Why don't you all chimpanzee zoom up?
Terrible.
Hey.
Terrible.
Can we go a little bit away from these mages so that we don't get seen by these mages as we
So to see us
transform?
is like
Yeah,
this.
find
King Kong.
I
Just
think I played that game right. Isn't that called Rampage?
Yeah.
As you all begin to move a little ways back up the path, Second will look back at the stump and just say, "I know she's out there. I can feel it too." And we'll start walking back up the path. Well,
And as you start walking, you again look up into the sky, don't see any storm clouds, but for some reason it's almost as though you hear thunder. And you all continue up the mountain. So describe to me this menagerie of ascendants. Like it seems like you tell me.
So Cinnamon Wall shapes into an ape, and it has a dirty, like yellow green sort of color to its fur, and he will go to pick up Second, and if there's no resistance, put Second on his back. And begin to climb.
All right, Big Mama.
Big Mama Mocha is partially read what giant apes look like. So she's considering, like, from what she would think that apes would naturally inhabit, mountainous regions, which she kind of mistakes for a yeti. So it looks like a silverback gorilla covered in dreadlocks. All right. And then, but it's still very much like that top heavy feel, all knuckles and forearms. And then so she goes ahead and just like takes hose and just like scoops him, like just, back on her. And then she just starts to do her, her climb.
Yeah, I think Hosen like ties a rope around himself too, and just like acts like a backpack, just like looking out, just like perceiving anything, just keeping watch. But definitely a Hosen backpack is activated.
And let me ask, is the intent to go all the way to the top?
If we can.
We've got 3 hours worth of climbing that we could do.
Okay, fantastic. So here's what I would like to do. The four of you start climbing and ascending, and it's going much faster than you expected because you don't have to be constrained by the limits of the paths. You are essentially just climbing straight up the side of this mountain. And after a little bit, you pass directly past the outcropping. You completely ignore the path that is going up, and you just start climbing the side of this. And almost immediately, once Smitty, you look like you're going to say something.
Yeah, just real quickly, if at any point Second recognizes anything of their descent down, they will try to steer Cinnabon towards like the ramp up or something that they descended from.
Yeah, perfect. So right as you get into the clouds, you do notice that this is Second, this is familiar to you because this is where there was that like bush behind which the griffins were hiding. It's completely empty right now. There's no activity whatsoever, but you can tell where the path leads around. And if you want to continue to follow it, you can get to the base of where that cliff was.
Yeah, I want to try and sort of steer Cinnabon like along the path to get to like where I plummeted, and then direct them directly up the mountain that I plummeted down.
Okay,
basically, like I want to get back to the point where I was before I jump.
Perfect. How do you communicate this?
Like gentle tugs on fur and knees.
Beautiful. I think this is a good chance for an animal handling check.
On me?
Yep.
I still have my faculties. I'm just an ape.
Yeah, but Second is not communicating to you in any other way other than like nudges.
Okay.
Sticks.
Yeah, from what you can tell, Cinnabon, Second is just kind of digging his heels in a little bit tighter. Maybe they're a little bit nervous about the climb coming up.
Then again, I do have an intelligence of a 6. So there is that.
Unless you want to try something else, Second.
I mean, if at first it doesn't work, then maybe I will reach my arm in front of Cinnabon's eyes and like point to see if that actually does it.
And there we go with the solution. Yeah, so Cinnabon, now you see Second has their hands kind of pointing.
I've been waiting to do that.
All right. So Second more or less visually directs you to the base of the cliff. And I think this is probably, well, hold on. Let me ask you. What do you do once you're there?
So really quickly, I think I missed the description.
Yeah, sure. So I'm sorry, I was just kind of skipping ahead in my brain. So
Oh, good. I was focused on getting the ape sound.
I know, and that just threw everything into chaos. All right. So Second, I'm just assuming also that Cinnabon and Second are leading, right? And Big Mama and Hosen are following.
Yeah.
So Second is kind of directing you with visual cues in front of your eyes, and as you are following these cues, what you see is that you move away from kind of the more exposed area from where you came before into a almost like a large valley. And Second is now driving you essentially through the middle of this valley. And at a certain point, Second kind of moves you off towards the right. And when they do that, you can see in front of you is that what lies up ahead is a massive monolith of a cliff. And Second is kind of like pushing you closer and closer to that cliff. And then once you get there, it does not seem like there's any other visual cues. Again, I feel like I'm speaking for you, so I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, I will point directly up. If in looking at the cliff, I mean, I've been climbing. I don't know how long we've been climbing. If it feels like this is a climb that we can make, I will do it. I will point. But if it feels like it is a sheer rock wall and Cinnabon will not be able to climb this based on what I've observed thus far, I probably won't direct them to do it. But
no, it is not sheer. It is kind of rocky and whatnot, and especially in 8 form, I feel like they have a climbing speed, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's perfectly fine. 30. You said 30 feet.
Yep.
Mhm.
So if I remember right, I think I said this is 200 feet.
200, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're talking about like, is that 7 rounds? So like
Just under.
you can be up at the top at like in 30 seconds,
Not a problem.
basically.
Like as
I'll before we go, I'll look back at Hosen. They're the only non-ape here, and I will say Elliot Moreau, and I will point directly up the mountain.
God, I do the exact same thing, just finger in front of leg Rain's
yeah.
face and Big Mama Mocha's face, and just point up.
Okay.
You know I'm on the back. Sorry.
Yeah, I think at some point there's probably like like as he kind of holds down, he's like thumbs up, like from the down, from up top to make sure that everybody's okay, and then even like if he kind of feels like second squirming, he'll like push second up to like closer to like the neck, to give him a little bit more room, and then keep going.
All right. Fantastic. Big Mama and Cinnabon, you carrying your friends on your back. As you climb this wall, hands over hands, and at the very end, you peek your head up and look at the tower. And just as Second saw it yesterday, does not appear as though there's any activity whatsoever. Just perpetual clouds and perpetual wind. And that is where we're going to call it tonight.
Oh, I want to bang on the door.
I want to stop.
It's funny because Hosen is still a backpack, so he's like, "Oh wow, nice views." This is
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for sake of wild shape, Rain, you said you had 3 hours total. I think this climb probably took you 2, so you have an hour left. Let's just put a pin in that.
Great.
Cool.
All right.
Love that for us.
Yeah. Man, that was unexpected. My heart is breaking for a second.
Yeah.
Now,
Me too. I feel awful.
As I'm
Now,
doing my little happy dance.
I think
over
it's
here.
fantastic. It's
No.
it's
do
beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, so let's wrap things up here tonight. Who are you and where can we find you? Let's start out with Rain tonight.
I am Rain. You can usually find me in my bed, sleeping, napping, or playing games. But if you are online, absolutely, it'll be TikTok and Instagram as Virgo_Rain, where I have all my mermaiding and cosplay adventures. And I just debuted a new cosplay too. I'm so happy. Steampunk Geisha. It's so cool. Right. And that's me.
Cool. How about you, Alex?
Hello, everybody. My name is Alex or Ziva RPG. You can find me here every Tuesday night, except for not next week, but the week
Next
after.
Tuesday.
Yeah, but this has been so much fun. You can find me on Twitter, Ziva RPG. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. How about you, Smitty?
Hey, folks, I am Smitty. You can find me here on Tuesdays for a little while longer. You can find me on the Discord now in the chat. You can find me occasionally Wednesdays playing The Agency on So Many Games, and every once in a while, probably never again, but maybe Thursday nights here on the Amphitheater. My good friend Philadelphia doing a little something called AMGM's DM.
Trying to do that EDM drop. Wait for it.
Honestly, that would be the sickest EDM drop. Are you kidding me? Someone make that right now.
And how about you, Jacob?
Oh man. So as always, you can find me on Twitter at Duval King Jacob, Instagram and stuff sometimes as well. And shit's happening, man. Tomorrow, as I mentioned at the top of the show, we'll be back playing some video games, some Final Fantasy 9. And then on Thursday, Arkenhold University, episode 3, which has been going really, really well. We're releasing our character art right now, which is just so fucking cool. And then, of course, Sunday, episode 49 of Duval and Dragons over on twitch.tv/so many games. And then back here next week, inside of Tal'dorei Fields of Wonder right now, we're going to be watching Eulalia 5e Redwall Story, episode 1. And we will do a little like DVD commentary, like, yeah, and this is the point where April threw a bunch of food, and I knew we had a show. Just as an example, because that's literally exactly how I felt. So that's me, Bill. What about you?
You can find me here every Tuesday except for next week, which doing the DM stuff. Other than that, you can follow me at Bill Adelphia on Twitter. And if you're in San Francisco, I will be there this weekend. If you're in, Alex, I want to be in San Diego in like middle of March. That's right next to you. Yeah, let's do it.
Y'all better hang out.
Yes,
I swear to
let's
Bob.
do it.
Toronto on Tuesday next week, and then I'm in Oregon Wednesday through Saturday next week. So
Who's in Oregon? Nobody.
Is that the 14th that you'll be in San Diego?
14th? I don't know.
Oh, it'll be live show.
Live show.
I know.
Wait,
live show.
it is the 14th. I will be in San Diego on the 14th.
Are you guys gonna play together?
Alex, you
shit,
better
that'd be so
set
wild.
some room
Wait.
on, dog.
Oh, I have another gaming PC here. We can't do it.
Oh no shit. Okay.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I'll have my people
Discuss.
call your people.
All right, cool.
Discuss.
Incredible.
Discuss.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it for me. Jacob, why don't you take us out?
All right, folks. So first things first, we're going to raid over to our dear friends Waffles Maple Syrup, who are playing some Delta Green over there. But in the meantime, I'd like to remind you of the following truths here on the Amphitheater, and that's the fact that Black Lives Matter. Stop AAPI hate. Trans rights are motherfucking human rights. If you don't have a uterus, you just get to tell people with uteruses what to do with theirs. None of your goddamn business. Climate change is real. Read a book every now and again. Smitty, I'm missing one. Like, you had me add one additional one, and I forgot what it was. What was it?
No, that was you got mine.
Yep.
Choose love.
That was that's the end game.
Choose love.
That's the end game. But also do that as well. And take care of yourself. Give yourself a hug every once in a while, because you're doing pretty cool. You're doing pretty cool things out here. So we're gonna go say what's up to those fine folks over there. They're amazing. There you go, Smitty, practicing what we preach. Love to see it. I think that was actually making out. That was definitely making out. And that's okay. You know what? Make out with yourself. No problem. That's cool. Tell them I said so. But yeah, we're gonna get the hell out of here. You all have a wonderful night, and see you tomorrow. Bye.
Goodbye.
Good night, everybody.
Okay. And I remember